Understanding where and how people serve is one of Ministry Platform's great strengths. Ministry Platform organizes all structures into congregations, ministries, programs, and groups. Congregations in a multi-site church are generally referred to as campuses. Ministries can be thought of as the standing departments such as children, worship, and youth. Programs are the ongoing activities that ministries do at a particular congregation. These are the things like the weekly worship service. Programs are the things you budget for and the things you schedule groups to attend. Groups, on the other hand, are the primary structure in which we track where people are receiving ministry as participants, doing ministry as servants, or leading others who are doing ministry as leaders. The Groups page lists groups of all different types. These can be small groups, ministry teams, age or grade groups, and even parent groups, which serve the purpose of organizing other groups within the container of a main group or a parent group. That allows for an infinite hierarchy of groups within a particular ministry. Let's look at creating a new group. First, we'll click on the New button. When we create a new group, we'll need to give it a name, select a group type, select a ministry department, select a congregation, a primary contact, and set a start date. These required fields will ensure that we always know how that group relates to the structure that reflect how our church exists in the real world. Beyond this basic information, there is information about the small group, which will be part of the group finder. And there's also information about check-in, in case this group needs secure check-in when they attend events. For example, you can choose to suppress a name tag in the case of a children's group, which only wants to print 2 name tags instead of 3. Creating groups is really a function of what your church wants to do and how they want to organize people. Let's take the Grade 2 group, for example. This will probably be the only group called Grade 2 in the entire system, no matter how many campuses a church has, because it's best to put all second graders into one group, and then Ministry Platform allows you to enroll that group in various programs, so that the group can actually participate across multiple campuses. This makes data entry easier. On the other hand, when you're creating a ministry team, you might want to create a team specifically for people who serve together at the same time in the same place on a regular basis. This will allow you to more easily schedule those people. Just because you've made a group very specific to the time and place in which those people serve, you haven't lost the ability to understand who's serving in what position. So now let's look at an example. I'll search for the First Impressions team. We see 4 teams in the system, and they reflect people who serve together at a particular campus during a particular service, for example, Central 11 a.m. These people serve weekly together at the same service. By having our information this way, we'll have the most flexibility in communicating with people who serve at a particular time, or communicating with people who serve in a specific place or a specific capacity, or, as is called in Ministry Platform, a specific role. So when we look at the Central 11 a.m. group, we see people with different jobs to do or roles in this service. So now if we wanted to communicate with these 6 individuals, we could select them all, and then click on the Transfer button, give our selection a name, click on the Participants page, and then click Transfer. Now we've landed on the Participants page, where we have all the power of reports and messages and tasks, all kinds of things that we can do to communicate with these people. Taking a different approach, if we go to the Group Participants page, we can see a list of all the people and all the jobs they have at the church. So if we wanted to do a search to find all ushers, we can find them regardless of which group they're in. So Ministry Platform offers both options, since it may be necessary at times to communicate with all ushers. We can also at any time go to the Group Roles page and find all the people who are ushers. We see that within this church, the group role type is servant, the group role direction is inward, since they're serving within the church, and it has a low intensity, which might mean it's a good starting point for serving, or that you could have this role in addition to other service roles at the same time. so the ability to look by position is particularly helpful. So as we've seen, we have the ability to look at the group itself and see the people within the group. We can look at the role to see people who currently have or have had that role, and we can go to the Group Participants page and review anyone who has done anything anywhere in the church at a particular time. A new group role can be created from the Group Roles page. A role in Ministry Platform cannot be created without first identifying what type of role it is. By that we mean that any job a person does has to be categorized by the required fields. A role needs to be given a role title, a group role type, a group role direction, and a group role intensity. Indicating whether or not a background check is required is also a required field. You can find more information on working with groups and group roles on the Think Ministry knowledge base.